Hey guys, so we're going to start off with First Aid Beauty's Oil-Free Mattifying Gel. I like to tap this all over my face before I apply any makeup to help keep my excess oils at bay throughout the day. Kind of acts as a primer as well, but go ahead and tap that in as opposed to rubbing or swiping. It'll just lay a lot more evenly on the surface of the skin. Then, I'm going to go in with Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream in Vanilla. Gonna buff this in all over the face. This is gonna help even out the skin tone with the redness I've got going on. Although it's not green, which green neutralizes red, I've found that this is just a nice, light, moisturizing cream that really helps even out my skin tone. You can already see there that a lot of the redness is gone. And I like super full coverage, so this just adds a little bit extra to my foundation. And I'm just blending this everywhere that I'm going to be putting foundation on top. Then we're going to go in with Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus in number 30 for my foundation. I'm going to go ahead and dot this all over. Like I said, I like a fuller coverage. This is a super full coverage foundation. I guess not super full, but it's buildable, and I get a great coverage out of this. And it does stay matte throughout the day. Obviously, if you wear it for longer hours, all makeup is going to start to kind of melt away, but this has been doing a great job so far with my oily skin. And I'm just going to pat a beauty blender all over, blend this out. I love beauty blenders. They just kind of do the work for you and give you more of an airbrush look. You get more coverage out of your foundation, in my personal opinion. So just blend away with that. And the color of the foundation looks like it doesn't match my skin tone. That's a lighting issue I need to figure out, but I promise it matches. I'm not that yellow in real life. Then we're going to go in with Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. I'm going to start out the contouring process as well as obviously concealing. So going under the eyes in that triangle shape is going to help not only brighten and conceal the darkness under the eyes, but also lift the overall complexion, make you look a little bit more awake. And then I'm going to even out that brightness by adding some to the center of the face. So the chin, middle of the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, and then use the Beauty Blender again to blend that all out. I like using the Beauty Blender for any cream products. I just think it blends the lines of the two colors a little bit more seamlessly, and it's just easier. So I'm going to blend all that concealer together. I'm also using it as a eyeshadow primer. I'm going to put some translucent powder over the top instead of using a primer. Then we're going to bake under the eyes with the e.l.f. High Definition Powder. I was using the Makeup Forever HD loose powder. I just ran out of it and I picked this up while I was out the other day, and it's been doing a good job. I like using translucent powders to set the face as opposed to any with color added to them. I just think it sets a lot nicer and you don't look cakey. And we're going to use the Eyelure Brow Tame and Define Wax to set my brows in place. I like using this to kind of start placing the shape of the brows. Helps me see where I need to add any product. And then we're going to use that middle shade there, the kind of red tint out of the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye palette. I do love the Anastasia brow products, but I just wanted to switch it up. You can kind of see I've got a purplish red tint to my hair, and I saw this in the palette one day and thought I should try it out. Powder brow products are nice because you can build the intensity. You can do a little bit more of a natural look, or build it up to more a stronger brow. I love using pomades, but like I said, I was just mixing it up. I'm only going to show you one brow here just because it can be a little time consuming, but basically I'm just outlining the shape starting on the bottom, then here on the top, dragging out the tail a little bit, and then I'm just going to fill it in. So hopefully you're able to see I'm kind of following the natural growth of the brow hairs, so going in more of a horizontal direction on the middle to outer, and then vertical on the inner. Then we're going to just set the rest of the face, wiping off the excess powder from baking under the eyes. And like I said before, I like using a translucent powder to set my cream products before I place powder on top. I found that if you don't do that, the other powders can grab or look a little bit patchy on the skin. So just setting all that product. And then we're going to use the Nars Paloma bronzer. You can see that there. It's a nice cool toned shade for contouring. I like using the cooler tones because they create more of a shadow as opposed to a bronzy sun-kissed look. With contouring, you want to recess anything that you don't necessarily want to see and then bring forward parts of the face that you want to highlight. So I'm going under the cheekbones. I'm starting with an angle toward the top of my ear and then down toward the outer part of my eye. Don't go too far. And then we're going to bring it up to the temple, and then here my camera died. So I had to wait about 10 minutes before I could start filming again. Then we're going to go ahead and contour up the forehead. Just place most of the product on the temples and then blend up and around the top of the forehead. And I'm also going to add some to the jawline. Get more of a narrow shape to the face. I have kind of a square face shape, and I like to just narrow it up a little bit. I'm also adding a little bit of contour to the nose just to define it a little bit. Make sure you blend out the nose contour a lot so you don't have two lines on the side of your nose. Then we're going to use Kat Von D's Wish blush to add a little bit of color back to the cheeks. Unfortunately, the shade is discontinued, but just use a rosy tone blush just to give a nice natural finish. Then we're going to start with the eyes. So using the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Palette, I used the last two shades in that first row there. Just a light taupe shade mixed with kind of a peachy tone. And this is going to act as our transition color. So what transition colors do is help you blend the darker shades that you're going to use on your lid a little bit easier, so you don't have any harsh lines. I'm also going to use this to start etching out that shape that I want this look to have. I tend to go for a little bit more of a cat eye shape. So just blend that in. Really diffuse the color. You don't need it to be too noticeable. And then our star of the show is the Bobbi Brown eyeshadow in Camel. I'm going to pack this all over the lid with just a flat eyeshadow brush. The more dense and compact your brush is, the more color payoff you're going to have. So I'm packing too as opposed to swiping to get more product onto the lid and less fallout. So just put that all over the lid. Go up to the start of the crease. Don't go past the crease yet. And just do that to both eyes. And you can use any warm toned medium brown for this look. I just love the texture of the Bobbi Brown eyeshadows. They're nice and soft and they're really easy to blend. But any warm toned brown will work. This is just such an awesome color. You don't see a lot with the undertones. Kind of orangey, kind of warm, kind of a little bit of yellow. And I'm starting to blend that color into the crease just a little bit with that first brush, and then taking a clean blending brush, you can start diffusing the color up into the crease. And then we're also going to take a medium shade of brown out of that same Kat Von D palette to just deepen up the crease a tiny bit and work that Camel shade in a little bit more. Using circular and wind swiper motions. You guys know the drill. And blend away. You can never blend too much. And I'm taking that through the whole crease. So outer to inner. And then we're going to also bring the Camel shade down to the lower lash line. Just going to use a flat type shader brush to deposit the pigment and go about 2/3 of the way down the lower lash line. We're going to add a brighter shade to the inner corner, so leave that last bit free of any product right now. Just go ahead and really blend that color out. You can bring it down as far as you want. And then I'm also going to add a darker chocolatey brown to the outer third, I'd say, to add just a little bit more of an elongated look to the eye. This will help kind of open the eyes up a little bit, having darker shades on the outer corners and then lighter shades on the inner corners. So I'm also going to bring that same chocolate brown shade to the outer V of the lid and just depositing color with a pencil brush. And then we're going to go ahead and blend out again with that same blending brush we used in the crease, just to make sure all of the colors transition to one another nicely. And then just using a satin finished cream shadow to highlight the brows. So pretty much put that anywhere that there's no eyeshadow yet. And just blending that down. Now we're going to use the Balm's No Money No Honey pigment. This is a really pretty gold shade that we're going to pop in the inner corners there to, again, open up the eyes. So blending that up a little bit to the inner corner on the top of the eye, and then also that space that we left on the lower lash line. And for liner, we're going to go in with Kat Von D's Tattoo Liner in Trooper. I love this eyeliner. It's really unique. It has a tapered brush tip as opposed to kind of that pen Sharpie tip. And then I go to frame, so you won't see the rest of it. And then we're going to pop on some mascara. I like to mix these two, and then highlighter. Of course, Becca's Champagne Pop. Who doesn't love a little bit of Champagne Pop? Jaclyn Hill is a genius, so I use this way too much. Love that highlight. So just on the top of the cheekbones, and then on the tip of the nose and the Cupid's bow. And then for the lips, we're going to mix Jordana's Rockin' Rose liner with Kat Von D's Bow and Arrow. And here is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please like and subscribe for more videos in the future.